Imagine a life where you're born to kill others of your kind. Society views you as bloodthirsty killers. You have no chance at the time you're born for any different life. If you lose a battle or lose a fight, you're sentenced to electrocution, to hanging, or to be drowned. Imagine being one of these individuals and getting a second chance. You get to live a life that you never thought you would be able to. We are going to be talking about pit bull terriers. They're resilient, and even though some of the odds are against them, they come back and they love one another and love their families. Throughout this speech, the history of the pit bull terrier, characteristics and stories about pit bull terriers, and the reasons why you should adopt a pit bull terrier will all be discussed. First off, the history of the pit bull terrier will be discussed. The pit bull terrier and American Staffordshire Terrier are very similar. They look quite a bit alike, but they are two different dogs. According to Kim Campbell Thornton's article, Terms of Terrier Endearment, on page 27, it states that in the early 19th and 20th centuries, pit bull fighting was actually legal. Any kind of dog fighting was legal. And a lot of times, political people and very wealthy people fought dogs. On the other hand, families and farmers liked using dogs and having these kind of pit bulls because they were very loving and they would take care of the little rodents that would be in their crops. According to the same article by Thornton, breeders kept meticulous records of dogs, especially pit bulls, going back to the 1800s. This shows that the dogs are well suited in their genes and there isn't much of a mix-up in those genes. In the 1920s, some pit bull owners wanted to show their dogs in the American Kennel Club's conformation shows because they were so proud of them. Finally, in 1936, the American Kennel Club accepted these dogs and named them the Staffordshire Terrier. This is located on page 26 of the same article by Thornton. Now, I will discuss the characteristics of the pit bull and how, after the terrier, they are worthy of giving a second chance. According to Washington Post, in 2007, Michael Vick, a former Atlanta Falcons quarterback in the NFL, was arrested and charged with competitive dog fighting. 54 dogs were seized, and it was questioned whether or not the dogs should all be euthanized or if they should be given a chance. And after a while, the judge finally decided that each pit bull should be assessed as to whether or not they should live and be given a second chance or not. According to the article Pit Bull Ambassadors by Lisa K. Hanks, on page 38, it states that of the 54 Vic dogs, 49 were placed in rescue groups. Of the remaining dogs, 2 were euthanized, 1 was for health reasons, and 1 was because of aggression. 1 was put into law enforcement, and 2 died shortly after they were seized. Johnny is one of the Vic's dogs, and we're going to talk a little bit about him. In Hank's article on page 39, it states, Johnny's so accommodating. He'll sit there and wag so happily. His little tail spins like a propeller. After a life of being told that you have to kill or you have to fight your own kind, it's incredible how the dogs can bounce back after a situation like that and love other things that come in contact with them, especially humans, the people that were hurting them in the first place. On page 39 of Hank's article, it states that Johnny is now a certified temperament tested, an AKC canine good citizen, and a therapy dog, and therapy dog certified with Therapy Dogs International. This dog, Johnny, along with others, shows the resiliency that the pit bulls all have. After being told they have to fight against one another, have to rip each other's legs off, have to bite each other, and kill another dog, they bounce back and they're able to live in a situation, in a family, in such a good environment, and be able to live a normal life, unlike they were born to do. This is reason enough for an individual to choose to adopt a pit bull terrier. Finally, I will talk to you about why the pit bull terrier is the best breed to adopt. Leo is another dog rescued from Michael Vick's dogfighting ring. After the Bad News Kennel, and after being stuck in a rescue group for 6 months, he was quite on edge. In Hank's article on page 40, McClay, who was Leo's caretaker, states that when he first met Leo paced and paced, and he was quite on edge. McClay introduced massages and soothing music to help calm the dog down, and he also used positive reinforcement to help the dog know what is right and what he should not be doing, but so he's not hurting the dog in any way. Leo is now a certified therapy dog with Therapy Dogs International and makes regular visits to chemotherapy treatment centers and visiting the patients that live there. Leo is another case that shows resiliency, love, and affection to individuals and humans that previously hurt them. Next dog you should look at a shelter or rescue. All of the dogs have to be temperament tested so they are able to be put in the homes. I actually rescued one of the dogs. He is now 8 months old. His name's Archie. We first decided that we wanted to foster a dog from Minnesota Pit Bull Rescue, which is one of the local pit bull rescues in Minnesota. And we decided he might be a good fit. It was a little scary though because he was in a shelter. So we brought him in, and after doing positive reinforcement, he has become one of the most loyal. He's extremely smart, and he is just an overall great dog to have brought into the family. And we actually have a 12-year-old pit bull as well. And despite what you may think, none of them have ever hurt anybody, and they are very, very great dogs. Just as humans shouldn't be judged by their covers or their past, neither should animals. Michael Vick's dogs showed heroism by coming back from such a terrible situation and becoming such positive dogs in society and people's lives today. After discussing the history of the Pit Bull Terrier, some of the characteristics and the stories of a Pit Bull Terriers, in Michael Vick's case, and just talking about the different ways that Pit Bulls are great dogs, I hope that next time you look for a dog, you go for a Pit Bull Terrier from a rescue or a shelter or anything of the sort. Thank you.